Today's recipe, I am making a roasted Brussels sprout recipe with some walnuts that I'm going to be roasting with them, and a nice little sauce of balsamic, a little bit of maple syrup, and some fresh lemon juice to kind of balance out those flavors. And I tell you, it's really delicious. You're going to love this. If you're not a big fan of Brussels sprouts, I think this one is going to change your mind. So I'm Rockin' Robin, and I'm going to show you how to do it right after this. So let me go over the ingredients here and we'll show you what's in it. First off, we have our Brussels sprouts. Now remember, they're in season around between September and March, so now is the time to make this recipe. We'll need some olive oil. I have some fresh lemon here for a little bit of brightness to our dish, garlic powder, some salt. I have some balsamic vinegar here, maple syrup, some raw walnuts that are just in pieces, and some Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna grate that up fresh. That's optional. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. It just depends on my mood. We're gonna start by preheating our oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we're gonna take our Brussels sprouts, pour them into a colander, and give them a really good rinse. So I'm going to take the Brussels sprouts and pour them onto a paper towel so that I can dry them really well. You want to dry them really well so that they will roast in the oven and not steam. Just pat them dry, let them sit for just a couple of minutes so that they can really dry out. Then once your Brussels sprouts are dry enough, then you're just going to cut off the end, and we're going to cut them in half. You'll notice some of the leaves fall off, but that's fine. We're gonna use those and keep them. And if some of the Brussels sprouts are really large, then you might want to cut them into quarters. Once we've got all the Brussels sprouts chopped and in the bowl, we're going to add some olive oil to this. And then I'm going to add some salt and some garlic powder. And I'm going to give this a toss. I'm going to add a little more salt now that I've mixed it up. And a little more garlic powder. And then you want to make sure that the olive oil is coating all of the Brussels sprouts. Then toss the Brussels sprouts onto a baking sheet lined with foil, and that'll make it nice and easy to clean up, and we all love that, right? So we want to spread these out into a single layer. Then I'm going to pop this in the oven for somewhere between, we'll check it at about 12-13 minutes, but it'll be, 13 to 15 minutes. So while the Brussels sprouts are roasting in the oven, let's mix up our balsamic mixture here, a little sauce. So I'm going to put, somewhere about a quarter of a cup or so. Okay, and I'll have all the written ingredients for you down in the description of the video, so be sure and check that out. For the maple syrup, I'm going to add a teaspoon or two of maple syrup. Add our fresh lemon juice, probably a teaspoon, probably two teaspoons of this. And you want to stir that up, combine it. And then we're going to toss in the walnuts and get those in there to get coated. Now we'll set this aside until we're ready to add it to the Brussels sprouts. Here's our Brussels sprouts at about 12 minutes. You can see some of them are getting nice and browned, so I'm just going to flip them over. All right. Back in the oven for another 5 minutes, and we'll see how it looks. Here are the Brussels sprouts. I just took them out of the oven, and you can see the nice caramelization and browning that's going on here. They were in there about 19 minutes total. Now it's time to put these into the balsamic dressing that we made. So if you got foil on your pan there, hang on to it because it's going to slide off. I'm just going to slide these into the bowl, and that way I can toss it all with the sauce. Now I've reduced the temperature of the oven back down to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Toss this with the balsamic sauce and the walnuts until everything's coated. So pour this back into the pan, but try not to get an excessive amount of the sauce in there. It's going to be sitting on the bottom, so you're going to have to scoop this out and let it drain a little bit. So I'm using a slotted spoon. So this is going to go back in the oven for about 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes, something like that. Just keep an eye on it. So I just took these out of the oven. They were in there for about 5 minutes, and the walnuts have roasted just enough to give them some nice, good flavor. Now I'm gonna add just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Like I said, this is optional. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but sometimes I like to do that. All right, everybody, that's it for the dish. Let me serve this up. I hope you enjoyed the video. I can't wait to eat this tonight as my side dish for dinner. And I do hope you guys try it. Yeah, this is nice and caramelized. If you like caramelized vegetables, I mean, you're gonna love this. Let's give this a taste. Very delicious. I love the combination of flavors with the balsamic and the little sweetness from the maple syrup, and the lemon juice really kind of brightens things up, balances out the sweetness with the tart. Really nice, guys. I think you're gonna love this. Quick and easy to do. You can make this any time of any day of the week, and it's gonna be a big hit. So thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure and click the subscribe button, and you'll be notified when new videos come out every week. And also, if you have any cooking questions for me or any questions about the recipes, feel free to ask them down below in the comments. I'm happy to try and answer them for you. So yeah, thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video. Enjoy.